Hello, and welcome to the internet's most comprehensive exploration of comedy's graveyard. We're diving deep into the world of humor, but not the kind that makes you chuckle politely into your hand. Comedy, much like your Uncle Gary's dance moves, evolves over time. What once had audiences rolling in the aisles can now elicit reactions ranging from mild discomfort to outright horror. So, buckle up as we exhume 10 comedy styles that went from side-splitting to cringe-inducing faster than you can say, "Where's the beef?" Get ready for a wild ride through the catacombs of comedy. Slapstick, the comedic art of slipping on banana peels, receiving pies to the face, and enduring comically exaggerated violence. It was a simpler time when physical comedy ruled the stage and screen. Back in the day, folks couldn't get enough of Charlie Chaplin taking a cane to the shins or the Three Stooges poking each other's eyes out. These moments were the epitome of humor, drawing laughter from audiences of all ages. But let's be real, watching someone take a frying pan to the face in 2023 just hits different, doesn't it? The context has changed, and so have our sensibilities. Slapstick, with its reliance on physical mishaps and exaggerated reactions, often relied on stereotypes and tropes that simply wouldn't fly today. The humor that once seemed innocent now feels outdated and sometimes offensive. The clumsy waiter, the bumbling fool, the henpecked husband, these characters, often reduced to caricatures, fueled the slapstick machine. They were staples of the genre, but they also perpetuated narrow and often harmful stereotypes. So while slapstick may hold a special place in the history of comedy, it's safe to say that its brand of physical humor is best left in the past, along with leg warmers and shoulder pads. Comedy has evolved, and so have we. Impersonations, that magical art of transforming into another person with nothing more than a wig, a funny voice, and a healthy dose of exaggeration. For decades, impressionists were the life of the party, effortlessly morphing into celebrities, politicians, and even that one weird uncle everyone has. But somewhere along the way, the laughter faded, replaced by an awkward silence and the faint scent of mothballs. Impersonations, once a harmless form of mimicry, began to bump up against the very real issues of cultural appropriation and stereotyping. Moreover, the digital age has made it infinitely easier to access the real deal. So while the art of impersonation may never truly die out, thanks TikTok, its place in the comedic pantheon has definitely been downsized. Ethnic jokes. There was a time, believe it or not, when comedians could get away with telling jokes that relied heavily on stereotypes about different ethnicities. These jokes often relied on tired tropes and played into harmful prejudices that have no place in modern comedy. Thankfully, society has evolved to a point where we recognize that humor should build bridges, not reinforce harmful stereotypes. We've realized that reducing entire cultures to punchlines is lazy, offensive, and just plain not funny. So let's all agree to retire the ethnic jokes, along with those questionable fashion choices from the decade they originated. Picture this: a packed theatre, a live orchestra, and a dizzying array of acts, ranging from singers and dancers to comedians and magicians. Welcome to the world of Vaudeville, the original variety show that captivated audiences for decades. But what was once the pinnacle of entertainment now feels as dated as a rotary phone. Vaudeville thrived in a pre-internet, pre-television era, where live entertainment was the primary form of leisure. But as technology advanced and tastes evolved, vaudeville began to fade. The rise of radio and film offered audiences new forms of entertainment that were more accessible and, dare we say, less reliant on cheesy puns and slapstick routines. While vaudeville may be a relic of the past, its influence can still be felt in modern entertainment. Physical comedy, physical comedy. We used to laugh at pratfalls, slapstick, and the general misfortune of others. But somewhere along the way, our funny bones became a tad more discerning. Maybe we've become desensitized to cartoonish violence, or perhaps our empathy muscles have simply grown stronger, thanks yoga. Don't get me wrong, physical comedy can still be hilarious, but the bar has been raised. Think Buster Keaton's death-defying stunts, or Rowan Atkinson's masterfully awkward Mr. Bean. So, while the days of slipping on banana peels may be behind us, the spirit of physical comedy lives on in those brave souls who are willing to push the boundaries of humor. Prop comedy, the art of squeezing laughter out of inanimate objects. There was a time when a well-placed rubber chicken or a strategically deployed whoopee cushion could bring down the house. But in the age of viral videos and CGI-fueled spectacle, prop comedy has become the comedic equivalent of a flip phone. Quaint, nostalgic, but ultimately outmatched. The rise of digital media has fundamentally changed the way we consume comedy. In this environment, prop comedy often feels slow, predictable, and lacking the instant gratification we crave. However, in the right hands, it can still be a powerful tool for humor. The classic stereotypical sitcom, a genre that has been a cornerstone of television entertainment for many years. A staple of television for decades, these shows often relied on predictable plots, exaggerated characters, and a healthy dose of cultural stereotypes to elicit laughs. The formula was simple, yet effective, drawing in audiences with its familiar and comforting structure. But as the world became increasingly globalized, these stereotypical sitcoms began to feel out of touch and, frankly, a little offensive. The humor that once seemed harmless started to reveal its problematic undertones. The humor, often rooted in cultural misunderstandings and generalizations, simply didn't translate well across borders. What was funny in one culture could be confusing or even insulting in another. The rise of streaming services and cable television gave rise to a new wave of sitcoms that were more diverse, nuanced, and willing to tackle real-world issues with a blend of humor and heart. These modern shows reflect the complexities of contemporary life. So, while the stereotypical sitcom may hold a special place in the annals of television history, its brand of humor feels as dated as a pair of shoulder pads. The evolution of sitcoms mirrors our own societal growth and changing sensibilities. Shock humor, the rebel of the comedy world, has always thrived on pushing boundaries and challenging norms. But somewhere along the way, the shock wore off, and the humor got lost in the outrage. In an era of heightened sensitivity and political correctness, shock humor has become a minefield, with comedians often facing backlash for jokes deemed offensive or insensitive. The internet, with its ability to amplify voices and mobilize outrage, has only intensified the scrutiny on shock humor. However, let's not mistake caution for censorship. Shock humor, when done well, can be a powerful tool for social commentary and challenging the status quo. It's about finding the right balance between pushing boundaries and being mindful of the impact our words can have. Mime, the art of expressing oneself through movement and gestures without uttering a single word. It's a demanding craft, requiring incredible physical control, creativity, and the ability to convey emotions without the benefit of speech. But in a world saturated with noise and digital distractions, mime often struggles to compete. We're so accustomed to instant gratification and easily digestible content that the subtle art of mime can feel slow, inaccessible, and, let's be honest, a little pretentious. However, let's not discount the power of silence. Mime, at its best, can be incredibly moving, thought-provoking, and surprisingly funny. Parody, the comedic art of imitation and exaggeration, has been a staple of humor for centuries. It's a form of comedy that thrives on the ability to mimic and amplify the quirks and flaws of its subjects, often to hilarious effect. From Shakespearean spoofs to Monty Python's Flying Circus, parody has a long and storied history of poking fun at everything from pop culture to politics. These performances have not only entertained but also provided sharp social commentary, making audiences laugh while encouraging them to think critically. But in the age of the internet, where memes spread faster than wildfire and trends come and go faster than you can say hashtag, parody faces a unique challenge, staying ahead of the curve. The digital landscape is ever-changing, and what's funny today might be forgotten tomorrow. What's relevant one day can be old news the next, making it difficult for parodists to keep their material fresh and engaging. They must constantly innovate and adapt to the rapid pace of online culture, which can be both exhilarating and exhausting. However, like a comedic cockroach, parody is a resilient beast. It has survived through various eras and mediums, always finding new ways to make us laugh. As long as there are targets worthy of mockery, parody will find a way to adapt, evolve, and continue to hold a mirror up to society's absurdities. It's this adaptability that ensures parody remains a vital and enduring form of humor. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of comedy's graveyard. As we've seen, humor is a fickle beast, constantly evolving and leaving a trail of outdated styles in its wake. But that's the beauty of comedy, isn't it? It's a reflection of our times, our values, and our ever-changing sensibilities. Who knows what comedic delights the future holds? What current comedy trends do you think will make future generations wonder what we were thinking? Let me know in the comments below.